Hello, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I did not film a cash stuffing for my second paycheck of November. Everything with Thanksgiving and all that kind of messed it up. So I'm back here today with my month in review, facing my finances and kind of where I'm at there. So before I get into this, I'm going to go over my no spend November, and I'm trying to lay it out so it's not glary. There. So out of the whole month, I went 17 days out of 30 for no spend. I excluded gas and groceries for this. So the main things I bought were like a door for the back of the house. Moxie needed some shots done. I needed a pair of pants because all my pants keep ripping. So, little things like that. I did get a boba here. So I was doing pretty good up until the end of that. The start was a little rough, but I'm pretty proud of this because I am a habitual impulse spender. So to go this many days here and almost all the way here is pretty good for me. So November was a much better month for me compared to October. And to highlight my budget and what I'm going to do, so I did a Happy Mail unboxing on my Instagram, and I just got this really nice binder from ADHD Budgets. I'm the type of budgeter, if there's too much going on, I'm not gonna want it. So just an overview is it has a monthly planner. There is also a debt tracker on here, which I just made some of my own that also include the interest rate. So I'm probably going to use those two simultaneously, probably have the ones I laminated on the refrigerator just so I get to look at them and kind of come up with a game plan and remind myself why I'm doing this for. Paycheck breakdown. So this really works out for my brain really nicely. So I'm really excited to use this. She even has a sinking funds update on here, which is great because I'm really getting into sinking funds right now. And then she also has a year at a glance. So that'll be really exciting. Again, I'm starting that in January. My December budget is already complete on a Google Sheet. I will also probably continue to use a Google Sheet just to kind of check my math before I officially write that down in there. And I will use that to go over in these videos. But yeah, overall, November was a pretty decent month. I did spend a total of $3,650, which I make about $3,800-ish. So yeah, that's just with my one job. I don't have a side hustle or anything at this point officially, so no extra income there. My highest expense I have are my fixed expenses, and then the second is our house. We actually suspended the sinking fund for the rest of the back door because we found a door that was on sale. There was a rebate of 11% for the door, and we're gonna have help putting it in, so we might as well just get it done with. And I'm gonna continue to save the rest of the $1,200 goal because I've been wanting to put a storm door on our front door because we have 3 dogs and they seem to love to run around. Just so that would be nice to have at the front door. And with the rebate, it'll be around $80. So we were under budget, and we should be able to get that storm door as soon as I have the $300, which I was going to do in December, but after rethinking it all the way through, I decided just to do it in January because the rebate kind of takes a while to come back through. So yeah, these are the main expenses that I had. I have on my budget sheet, if it is over $100, it will alert me by turning a caution yellow. But this is the only categories that went over $100. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, this is kind of the setup I'm gonna want to continue to do. It helps me reflect, and I know there are other people out there that could definitely use this as well. I don't like to reflect on myself, especially when it comes to spending. I am an anxious, impulsive spender, but by doing cash stuffing, by checking myself before I wreck myself, I've definitely come a long way. And with all my student loans that are coming out recently, this is a great way for me to continue on a positive path forward. So yeah, October I did a very similar, if not the same questions. I took a couple out because they weren't really applicable to this month. But yeah, I mean, if you want to follow along and maybe even answer these questions yourself, I would love to maybe see a response or two. But yeah, just to kind of see where everybody's at. So for myself, for the month of November, what were some wins and what were some speed bumps? So some wins, I did not use my card, oh, that was an ugly C, excessively. So the only reason I used my card in the month of November, I was having like issues with health and I didn't have my cash envelope with me. So I used my card to grab a few things from the store, but then I paid myself back with cash. So last month I was a little bit more impulsive with my card. So November was really good. I only used my card for, things that I had already planned, and it was really great. And I could give myself a little pat on the back that I did what I wanted to do with it. So that's really one thing. And then I'm trying to think of some other wins. Didn't go into debt. So that's great. I didn't have to pull any money from my savings. I've been trying to pay my savings back. I am at $950 currently with that, so I'm gonna pay myself $50 back to have that even thousand. But yeah, I used to play with my savings that was in my immediate account, and I didn't really view it as an emergency fund. But now that I'm actually doing all this stuff, I'm getting better about not touching that money. Some speed bumps I had. This is a hard one for me because last month there were some definite speed bumps. This month I would say telling myself no. In regards of, this last month, this right here is strictly from boba. And if I would have just told myself no until Friday, I would have had almost a perfect almost 2 weeks. It was just right here, right here, right here. That could have been checked out. But I think this is when I bought my pants. But that was inevitable. And there was a Black Friday sale. So I got some pants from Madewell that are normally like $150 for 40 something, which is pretty good for a good quality pair of jeans. But there are a little couple things here and there. So just telling myself no. And, even eating at home, we did really good. So a win, eating at home. I printed off a meal planner sheet, and that's really been helping us kind of know when we're going to eat at home, what we need to get at the grocery store so we're not spending excessively, things like that. And it's really helped us out a lot, I think. But on to the second question. What would you like to do differently in December and why? In December, keep myself in check. What else would I like to do differently? Really just keeping myself in check and chugging on forward. Why? To keep myself accountable Wow, that was ugly. Keep myself accountable and hit savings goals, my savings goals that I would like. So I have savings goals for my sinking funds. So savings goals and pay off my debt. So I'm going to do a video soon going over all my debt. But I believe total I'm roughly around $104,000, which includes my car and all of my student loans. I don't have a credit card of any sort, and that's really all the loans that I have is for school. So that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so this is why I am cash stuffing and going through this process, is because I want to pay off my loans and I want to spend mindfully. What has this month taught you about your spending habits? I can go days without spending money. So I can go with days without spending money. When I am bored, I like to just go to stores, shop online, everything that you can think of that involves spending money in some way, shape, or form. And one thing I have learned is if I just don't go, I can't spend money. If I don't look, I can't spend money. Love to go into Target. I've since decreased that tremendously. But yeah, if there was something that I knew I wanted but I couldn't get, I would just go home and do something at home instead. Also, I can't give all of myself credit. There are days that, my partner will support me, which is really sweet of him. He came home the day before Thanksgiving and he brought me home a boba just to be sweet. And I always thought I was gonna go get one myself, but he surprised me. He came home early and he got me a boba, and it made my day. It was really sweet. But yeah, little things like that I cannot attribute all of my saving to myself, because there are things that he does that helps me a lot. But yeah, before I get too sappy, let's get into the next little question. How do you prevent these speed bumps from happening again? So from up here, telling myself no. How can I continue to prevent speed bumps from telling myself no? Learn discipline. This is like one of those words. Oh my God. That's one of, whenever you're spelling, one of the few words that you have a really hard time spelling. Discipline. Discipline. I know that's wrong, but we're going to call it that. I know there's a C in there somewhere, so you get where I'm going with that. Learn discipline and keep myself accountable. So something I've been doing is, instead of tracking daily, because I haven't really been spending daily, is I will just enter in receipts at the end of the week if I do have any. So keeping myself accountable there. I update my Google Sheet regularly. I've been doing it since August now, and it's nice to kind of see how my spending has changed since then, and just kind of where I'm at there, and keeping myself accountable in that way. But I mean, for November, I really don't have anything super crazy to report. It was a pretty easygoing month. But yeah, groceries was pretty high, and even like Moxie, taking her to the vet, she is 6 pounds. It was $250 something, which was wild to me. But she had to get some blood work done, being 4 years old, and a Yorkie breed. So everything seemed to check out fine, which is good, but that was an extra $120. So that's where that came from. But I can't complain. I feel like I'm doing much better on my spending, and it can only get better from here with constant watering, to keep this going. But yeah, I'm super excited to film my student debt and car loan video just to show you guys where I'm at with that. And then I plan on also filming my goals. But yeah, keep your eye out for that. And if you're not already subscribed at this point, please join me on this journey. Maybe it'll inspire you on your own journey. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and you'll hear from me soon. Bye, guys.